Here we go with another blind playthrough of Bloodborne the board game. The core game. No longer am I using expansions or any fancy stuff. This is all the stuff you can expect to see in the actual core box itself. This is a blind playthrough of the Fall of Yharnam campaign, the only campaign I have not yet played. And it should hopefully coincide with a video review that I am preparing on top of this. So I'm going to get straight stuck into this. As always, this is not a how to play, this is a playthrough of the campaign based on my knowledge of the rules as I have read them, understood them, and developed my understanding as time has gone on, if you've seen any of my other playthroughs, and also from the community feedback. A couple of things I will be doing almost instantaneously because there was a fantastic point made about tiles being laid and enemies being populated before I move in, but we'll see that as we go. So I will read the Fall of Yharnam introduction to kick off, and we will see where we can go from there. Spiralling below the cathedral ward lies the hamlet known as Old Yharnam. Far removed, the town lies isolated from the greater city. Recently, however, rumours have emerged of a strange sickness, different from that of the beast plague, spreading through its streets. A group of hunters, notably those of the Powder Kegs Covenant, were sent to investigate. Time has passed and none have returned. Thus, we have been dispatched to discover what has befallen them. So it's all set in Old Yharnam, and if you are familiar with the video game, it is an area within that, but the board game does not follow the story of the video game, which I think is superb because it means I do not know what to expect. There is a single rule that is special to this campaign, and from what I can see from the chapter cards, it is frequent throughout all of them. And it says, antidote. While in the hunter's dream, you may discard one consumable and replace it with an antidote card from the consumables deck or discard pile. Meaning there is going to be poison aplenty, which I cannot wait for. Our enemies have been dictated for us by the chapter card, and we have got the male beast patient set to this side as random, the scourge beast set to this side as random, and the female beast patient set to this side as random. We will be having let's go for the male beast patient in kin, scourge in infected, and female beast patient in the beast slot. Interestingly, I've never played against the female beast patient, but I know full well that I am going to suffer for that. The other two I have got experience with, but I know the Scourge Beast is awful in terms of what it can do. We today are playing as the Ludwig's Holy Blade Hunter. Again, a hunter I have not used frequently or have much knowledge about, so this is going to be quite interesting. We are using the potato camera for that, so I will try and flick between. I will not be flicking to the hunter dashboard, the hunt track and such, unless something really notable happens, but time will tell. So let's kick off with looking at our objectives. So, Chapter 1, we need to reveal card 2. And to get our insight missions, we need to end a move on the courtyard lamp, end a move on the occupied house, tile, and when the hunt track reaches the first reset point, mark it with an insight token to remember, reveal card 15. I will do that just for good practice. So this is a fresh hunter, so she has got no upgrades whatsoever. And again, as I've said, I've never used this hunter. I know that on the other side there is an absolutely smashing attack with tons of damage, and also a free transformation attack. Whether that'll coincide nicely with these enemies, I do not know. Let's reveal card 2 and find out what we've got to do. So, our hunt mission. Missing powder kegs. Entering the old hamlet. You find its buildings and homes in disrepair and neglect, an eerie quiet seemingly overtaking its streets. While far less populated than the rest of Yharnam, this was once a thriving town, but you would almost swear it had been abandoned. End a move on the alleyway, reveal card 3. That's our objective, that's what we've got to do. So, let's kick off and see what we cannot do. I am looking at the cards we have drawn, and I am thinking are we very quick compared to the enemies? We are relatively quick if we were to use our quick stab, so I'm going to draw one card in order to move 2 spaces. So I'll reveal the tile, and we get the alleyway. Okay, almost instantaneously, we have managed to find what we needed for the hunt mission. So I place that there, and we need to populate that before I move in with a female beast patient. There she is, hood over her head, very intimidating. And I am going to actually move to that spot. So that is 1, 2. We have found the alleyway. Reveal card 3. Hunt mission, missing powder kegs. Entering the row of houses, you see a form of a hunter slumped against a wall. Even from this distance, his many wounds are plain. Standing before him is a beast, claws risen to strike. Place a survivor token in the alleyway. Interact in the alleyway space. Interact with survivor token. Reveal card 4. So I'm assuming that that beast is the one who has done the dirty to our hunter friend. So let's engage in a bit of combat. I've never fought a female beast patient, so I'm not sure what to expect, but with only 3 health and quite a confident look of our character, we should be able to take her out in 1. What's our ability? Each time you clear a slot, deal 1 damage to one enemy in your space, and I know the other side is, after attacking with combo slash, you can transform your weapon for free. So we could be able to get some good sequences of attacks going here. But let's just play full whack. We'll go basic +1 to slash at 2 speed. The enemy, put the enemy actions there. I'll get the card ready. Is going to hit us with a basic, which for her is 2 speed, 2 damage. So we are at the same speed. I don't have a dodge, so we'll hit each other at the exact same time. So my hunter will take 2 damage, but we will deal 3 and manage to take this enemy out. We'll receive a blood echo. Two damage. The enemy is dead, which is the reason we got the blood echo. That is going really well, and I like it already. I'm going to slide this way, because I feel like I'm going to be adventuring in that direction. For my final move, I will interact with the hunter, and we reveal card 4. Hunt mission, missing powder kegs. You rush to the side of the fallen hunter. Through staggered and pained breaths he speaks. They sent others. You must flee. The poison runs too deep. This district is lost. Get out. He chokes before slumping over. He slumps out before slumping over, sorry. We will not abandon our duty, however. We must find any remaining powder kegs and learn the event of this outbreak. So, we've got 2 new, almost like mini missions for our insights. We need to end a move on the ransacked house, reveal card 6. Do not discard this card in graveyard. Complete the hunt at the end of a round when you collect at least 1+1 insight, reveal card 5. This almost feels quite short. I feel like I might actually end up doing 2 chapters in 1. So we need to complete the hunt at the end of a round when you collect at least 1 for every hunter +1, so 2, then we reveal card 5. Interesting. And of course for this, courtyard lamp, occupied house, hunt track. So if we find the occupied house for both of these, oh no, the occupied house is not, that's separate to that. So it is 3 separate missions to those 2, so we've almost got 5. I'm going to put that there. The hunter's been interacted with. I'd assume we discard him. Has it told me to? It has not. I'm going to leave them there, but we know full well that they're dead. They're dead. It's the end of a round. We have no enemies to move, so what's going to happen is we will just advance the hunt track by 1. We draw 3 new cards. We acquire a basic +1, a basic dodge, and a basic +1. So that's all of our +1s out. But that could come in handy if we get into more fights, especially against these weak enemies. We'll spend 1 of these +1s because we have 2 in order to move 2. And we get the graveyard. I'm going to place it this way. slide that way. And I will populate a tile before entering, because enemies will react based on my actions. Look at that. And we'll go 1, 2. We have ended a move on the graveyard. We reveal card 8. Medical aid. You come upon a hunter slumped against a collection of tombstones. Kneeling beside her, she looks at you. Through laboured and congested voice she speaks. Is that congested? Yeah, congested voice she speaks. Antidote. She lets out a hacking cough as her head hangs low. She still lives, but will need to act swiftly. Sneezing. I need an antidote. Place a survivor token on the graveyard. Complete this mission by interacting with the survivor and discarding an antidote consumable. And the blood echo. Oh, what? Man, that sucks. Reveal card 9. So, we know we can get antidotes by discarding consumables in the dream. We need to discard an antidote and... we need to discard a consumable to get the antidote. We need to discard an antidote and a blood echo. Unfortunately, if we go to the dream, we'll spend all those blood echoes. It's going to be a long-winded one. But until then, we have got an enemy to take on, and it is a male beast patient. So I'm going to grab his card. I'm going to reveal what he's going to do after I've played my attack. Do not get too carried away there. We'll play a basic to another slash +1. And he is going to try and hit us with a special. Death Rattle. Oh, that's ominous. If a beast patient is killed, unless it was staggered, the hunter suffers 2 damage and poison. Oh, that's nasty. Well, he's going to get killed, but I'm definitely going to dodge what he's doing. So I'm going to dodge at a faster speed. I would dodge. I would clear that slot. I'd also do an extra damage to him for doing so because of my ability. But inevitably, it wouldn't matter because we have already done 3 damage to him. And we avoid his damage and that poison. So he's taken out. We gain a blood echo, which again, we cannot spend unless by some miracle we pick up the antidote from that one. And I actually need to populate that with the survivor who is hanging by the graveyard. It's interesting, this one, because it's not often actually that you get a lot of survivors, but more importantly, it's not often that you get survivors who are hunters. Quite often, if you encounter a hunter, they're probably going to attack you. There was one campaign where German joined us, but that was interesting, and then some. So that is the end of the round. We have no enemies to move, so we will just advance the track. We'll draw 3 new cards. 1, 2, 3. I think that's all of our draw ones, I think. No, it isn't. So I've probably got a stagger and another dodge in that remaining deck. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spend my draw 1, which doesn't activate its ability because it wasn't played to an attack slot, to interact with this item. And let's see what we can't find here. Quicksilver bullets. Always really handy, not something I'm necessarily going to be using. Prefer them for my cannon hunter. Unfortunately for this hunter that is here and stuck, our best course of action is going to be to continue adventuring. So let us spend our second draw 1 because I'm looking at the weapon we've got and we're running out of slots, and I'm going to move 2. I'm going to move 2 in this direction. So we'll go 1. A courtyard lamp, okay. That actually blocks that off, so I'm not going to run into those enemies down there. 2. We've found the courtyard lamp, which means that we need to reveal card 10. And what do we get? Oh god, I'm going to have to get more cards on it. Annoying. Entering the courtyard, you see a mass of townsfolk congregating on the open area. While you make moves to evade them, one notices you and shouts, alerting the others. Soon the mob descends on you, torches and weapons at the ready. Reveal card 11. Surround the courtyard lamp tile with fog gates. Spawn 1 hunter mob on the lamp space. It respawns on this space on a reset. Complete this mission by slaying the hunter mob. Right, so I'm going to have to open the box up again. Only one thing that I don't like about these campaigns, but at the same time I love. I sometimes have to get more enemies and more cards out, which is fine. But I am, oddly, when I play games like this, very organised and get everything I need out, having to open that box up again and get more stuff out. As much as I love the surprise, it's a little bit annoying in my own head because of how organised I feel I've been. Let's reveal card 11 just to see what's special about these fellas. We've got, oh, Infected. Place 2 insight tokens on this card. If 3+ hunters, place 1 additional token. When this mob would be slain, instead of remove 1 token and heal all health. Remove 1 token and heal all health from it. Tokens are returned on a reset. Replace its basic with basic Infected Strike. Okay, so say that we've got so many options in terms of missions, they're not nice. So that's a 2 speed, 2 damage, and it's poison, and if the hunter is already poisoned, it deals more their attacks and dodges suffer -1 speed, so it's going to slow us down. Put that next to that. We'll surround this with fog gates. It would mean the lamp would be out of action because it can't spawn into a boss area. And I'm going to have to get the hunter mob figure out. Right, should be back to it. There they are, looking awful and nasty. And you know what? Whilst I've been getting that out of the box, I've been thinking, realistically, probably not going to be wise to try and fight them so close to a reset. And in that sense that we are also got 1 card left. So I'm going to spend that card to return to the dream, which will advance the track. So to advance the track for that, we will resolve that very, very quickly. So we will take the 2 blood echoes and spend them for cards. I'll quickly reset the hunter. In case you're curious, I got a rallying and tactical. And I'm going to get rid of a stagger and a draw 1. And of course, then the round is fully done, so we'd advance the track again, and that would be the reset. Which also means that we have met that insight token that we placed. So we need to do a little bit more card reading. But for the time being, I'm just going to quickly reposition these guys. And we will establish very quickly what it is that we are needing to do. There's the hunter mob sat there on that side with his different attack. So when we advance to the first position on the reset track, we need to reveal card 15. And I'm cautious because usually, quite often, these sorts of cards are very much, there's going to be a big development on the map, or something's going to appear that we don't want to appear. Yeah, okay, there it is. The blood-starved beast. The slow rasping of large claws on cobblestone is heard as the large beast, sinewy and giant and gaunt, emerges from the darkened alleyways. Bloodied flesh drapes from its frame as a dark ichor pools where it stands. Raising its head, it sniffs the air before letting out a thundering roar. The hunters are now being hunted. Reveal card 16, spawn the blood-starved beast on the central lamp space. It is not removed on a reset, but it does heal all of its health. Reveal card 16, oh my goodness, right. This is very, very quickly becoming very, very busy. I've got a lot of things going on here. Oh. I did envisage this was going to happen, so I have actually become a little bit prepared for this one. I've got to figure out. The blood-starved beast moves and pursues 2 spaces. At the end of each round, it moves 3 spaces towards the nearest hunter with the lowest HP and attacks. Remove the blood-starved beast from the map when it enters phase 2. Okay, so we know what we need to do. I'm going to place that one there. PJ. Why have I put those there? He should be there. She should be there. I've almost put that wrong. And then the blood-starved beast gets put here. And of course, my hunter will respawn here. So, quick reminder about boss cards. They have different health dependent on player count. This Bloodstaff Beast variant has 8 health, and then at which it will go into phase 2. And for us, that is a removal from the map. They also do not work from the enemy actions they have their own action deck. I have no experience with this boss enemy in the board game, but I remember in the video game, all my days was that the bane of my actual existence. So much poison, so much pain. In hindsight, easy peasy, but that first experience was a nightmare, so let's see if it's going to be any different this time. We'll draw our 3 cards. 1, 2, we got the rallying. 3. Right. I have no idea how fast the Bloodstarved Beast is going to move or how they're going to react. We'll quickly get rid of those because we are not hurt anymore due to the reset. I'm going to try straight away to try and get some damage in. They've only got 8 health. And we have got that rallying for healing too. So let's go for a basic slash there. Just do a bit of math in my head. No, let's do something crazy. Let's do something absolutely mad. I'm going to spend my tactical dodge to transform my weapon. Boom, look at that side. That humongous attack, that wombo attack, is no doubt going to get me killed. We cannot use Evelyn against the Bloodstarved Beast either. But let's just do it. Let's go for a basic overhead slam +1. 5 damage. The Bloodstarved Beast is going to try and rebuttal with crippling poison. 2 speed, 3 damage. If already poisoned, the hunter cannot dodge and their attack loses -1 and loses stagger. Well, we don't have stagger and we are not poisoned yet, so we're going to be poisoned now. That's not the end of the world. So that's 3 damage to us. And then we execute our attack, our big attack, and do 5 solid damage to it. That's made me feel good. Then we are going to hit with our rallying, which is going to be 3 damage, and we'll heal 2 after attacking. So that will be enough to take this enemy out, is what I'm hoping. I need to put that poison circle on, because that might actually be the make or break. Please don't be super quick. Oh, it isn't. Oh, what's this? Unless they dodge, triple speed, each hunter within 1 space suffers poison. If they're already poisoned, they suffer stagger and stun. Flip another boss action. Okay, well, we're dead. So what that means is we are staggered and we're stunned, so we'll suffer 1 damage. And a stagger means that we cannot do any attacks. So we'll just suffer 1 damage and we don't get to heal those 2. And then we spin, flip, another boss action. I feel like this is going to be an absolute wipe. It is undeniably a wipe. Cannot be dodged. If staggered, the hunter's attack deals +1 damage. We're dead. We're dead. Dead. What has happened? My confident plan has been foiled by a series of triggered effects based on poison. But at least I've died right next to the reset. I advanced the track for death. I advanced the track for the end of round. I'll reset my character. If anything, I'm a little bit, tiny bit relieved this has happened, because it means that we know what we're dealing with, and it knows that I cannot just go in like a bull. As, you know, fancy as that was. We do need a dodge to his name though. We will need to have a dodge. Right, I'm going to keep on this side. I'm going to go 1, stagger, 2, +1 with healing, 3, no dodges. Beautiful. I've advanced the track for death. I've advanced the track for that. We'll reset these. The enemy has not healed. So we only actually need to do 1 smidgen of damage to it. So in this rare circumstance, constantly running into the enemy has actually worked. And I think that's just on pure convenience of where we've reset and when we've reset. But let's run it through regardless. We are going to hit the enemy with our combo slash, and we're going to try and heal 2 as well, because I'm worried that no matter what happens, we're going to take some damage. So we are on +1 damage, so that's 3 damage. We'll heal 2 afterwards. Reveal the enemy card. I don't think I should have reset those actually. And it is lunging slash poison. After this attack, move the Bloodstarved Beast 1 space away. If the hunter dodge this attack, they may move into the Bloodstarved Beast space. We're not going to dodge, because we can't, but the attack is at the same time, so we would hit each other. So we would take 2 damage, we'd deal 3 damage, but then we'd heal 2 damage, but we do still suffer the poison. So we will take the poison, but we would deal those 3 damage to that enemy. We'd take 2 damage on his attack, but then after being attacked, we'd then heal 2. So the Bloodstarved Beast would now enter phase 2, which would mean, we'd flip it. Phase 2 often means lower health, but also means new attacks, vicious attacks. So complete this mission when the Bloodstarved Beast enters phase 2, reveal card 17. Let's see what card 17 has got to say for itself. There we go. A new foe. Distribute 1 blood echo and the Carol rune Odin Rife reward among hunters. The creature lets out a shrill cry before bounding off, a trail of black blood in its wake. While we've encountered terrible creatures born of the beast plague, this one does not feel of similar origins. Could this be something altogether new? 1 mission done. We need to finish 2 missions, as it turns out. But we'll get the Blood Echo, which we are definitely going to be acquiring. And we also get the Odin Carol rune. The Carol rune Odin Rife, which I don't actually think I've seen. Oh, your attack gains stagger and may stagger attacks of the same speed. Rife acknowledges visceral attacks as one of the darker hunter techniques. Well, yeah, because a visceral attack is literally where you put your hand inside someone's chest. That's gone quite well. We'll remove that. It ain't dead, but we've definitely upset it. I think for the time being we'll be able to put these to one side. And we're actually in a position where we're still able to do stuff. Now, we actually completed that and we can transform for free, and I'm going to choose to do so. Because, looking at what we've still got to contend with, they're much quicker. But we have got that poison, which means that at the end of the round, we will suffer 1 damage. I think we advance in. We try and take on the... Oh, we had a reset. Apologies, I should have restocked that item. We try and take on this enemy and this enemy. And when we go to the Hunter Dream, we swap the quicksilver bullets for an antidote if we don't pick one up from there. I should have done that originally, but I didn't, but that's more fool me. So we'll spend this stagger to move 1, 2, face to face with this beast next to a corpse. Still think I should remove it, but it hasn't told me to. And we're going to attack, and I will play a +1 slash. The enemy will attack with a basic, which, just to remind us, is a Beast Claw, 2 speed, 2 damage. So we'll take the 2 damage, but we'll also deal 3 damage, which will kill the enemy. So if we remove her, we'll get the Blood Echo. We'll take the 2. And then I'm thinking, well, we don't have a choice, we have to end our turn. So we end our turn with poison, which means another damage. All enemies within 1 tile will move towards us if they can. He can. They would not be able to because of the fog gates, but I don't really want them to. I actually need to stock them with insight tokens, don't I? So we'd have to kill those 3 times, which is 12 damage. I'm thinking it might be unwise to try and take those on. Anyway, new round, advance the track. Let's have a look at what we have got the choice of. 3 basics. He is going to follow us no matter what. But I think it's wise to get him to do so. So I'm going to spend this basic to move 1, 2. He would follow us because we have not only left his space, but we have left his tile. We're then going to spend a basic +1 to our slash attack in order to try and take him out. He will try and come back at us with an ability which I don't actually think I like the sound of, because I have got memories of this. At 2 speed, before the hunters attack, spawn 1 male beast patient in this space. Oh, that's annoying. 2 speed, but faster than us. Before ours. So we still do the 3 damage to him, to kill him. We'll get the blood echo. But it also means that we are now face to face with yet another enemy. Now, just thinking, if I use that dodge against him, I'll be able to do 1 damage because I'll clear that slot. But I'll only be able to kill him if I then am able to use a quick step. Alternatively, no, I don't think there's much of an alternative. My only option is to do that and hope that there's only 1 ability in their deck, but I'm hoping I'll be able to dodge. I'm going to end my turn there. All enemies would activate, which means that he would use a special, which is if beast patient is killed, unless it was staggered, the hunter suffers 2 damage and he attacks at 2 speed, 2 damage. We're going to dodge that. We'll spend the dodge. It won't make much difference from there to there. Clears the slot. He'd suffer 1 damage. But we've actually met another reset. So he would stay there. This female beast patient would reappear here. I'm in the exact same position because he would have healed regardless. We're looking tight on time now. We're just over halfway through. So let's draw some cards and see if we can't take him out quick. Right. 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to spend this draw 1 to flip my weapon and transform it. I'm still poisoned. I'm going to then spend my basic +1. I should have took a damage for being poisoned. That's there. I'm actually going to play my basic +1. I'm going to do a massive attack against him. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Because I've got 4 damage. I'm hoping for longevity. I'm not hoping to kill him to necessarily survive for long, but I'm hoping for longevity. So I'm going to do 5 damage against him. Seems overkill, but I have got my reasons. He'll hit me with a basic, which is 2 speed, 2 damage. Now, normally I would have taken that and that would have killed me, especially if I'd attacked at the same speed. But I've still got that dodge. So I'll dodge at the same speed, clear that slot. That's actually now 6 damage. I've done enough damage to kill him twice. He is well and truly gone. I get the blood echo. But it means that I can't have any more blood echoes, I've already got 3. But it means that I am completely out of danger for a round because round ends, she'd moved 1. I take 1 damage for my poison. I am on 5, I am on death's door. We advance the track and we're on to a new round. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to spend this dagger to interact with this item. And we get a blood vial. Not at all what we wanted, but it'll do. I'm then going to spend this dodge to go back to the Hunter's Dream, because we do need to trade those in. So I'd advance the track once for entering the dream, and I will then exchange this quicksilver bullets for an antidote. So place that into the discard, and I'll search the deck for an antidote. We now have an antidote. We have to spend these 3, which will make us more powerful, but means that we don't have the blood echo to give that hunter. And I'll quickly get some cards and I'll tell you what I did to change them. In case you're wondering, I've got a cheap shot, which stops them from using an ability, allows me to do 2 damage to them. A transform for 3, and a dodge, sorry, and a heal 2, which are cards I would not normally choose, but with this hunter specifically, I'm feeling it's wise to try and keep my options as open as possible. So I've got those three, so I will discard a stagger, a dodge, and a +1. No, I won't get rid of the +1, I'll get rid of a draw. I'd heal, I'd lose that poison, thank goodness. And I'll just quickly get myself sorted, ready for the next round. So we have got tactical dodge, rallying strike, and a quick change dodge, and we will respawn to this spot as usual. Now in my head, I'm thinking, because we are going to be right next to a reset, would be wise to just get straight into there, kill her, hopefully be in a position where we are able to just take out that male beast patient before the end of the round for the final round and get that final insight that we need. Let's have a butcher. So I'll spend this. I'll spend the transform. I should have transformed my weapons before. I'll come back on this side. Let's get rid of that transform to move on 2. I spend the. No, I like the +1. I spend the tactical to move another 1, 2. She'd follow. I will attack for +1 to slash. I'll have to reshuffle these. And she hits us with a special. Okay, what is her special? Ooh, that's not nice. Oh, that sucks. So poison and stun cannot be dodged. 3 damage, 2 speed. So that's 4 damage plus poison. I'm on death's door already. 3 damage for the hit. 4 damage because I'm stunned and I cannot discard a card. And poison. Now luckily for me, after attacking I get to heal 2. So I'm on 2 damage. We have done enough damage to kill her because we did 2 + 1 is 3. She's taken out. We get that blood echo that we needed. It's the end of the round. We take a poison damage. Poison is awful, awful, overpowered. And in some ways I really like the fact that it's there and it's so prominent because it's something to just keep an eye on at all times. End of the round, no enemies can advance because they are trapped inside that fog gate. So we advance the track and it's a reset. So what happens is that item reappears. Not that we're going to need it. He'll reappear here, so we'll have to fight him. She'll reappear here, so she will advance towards us in a second. And we get new cards. I'm hoping that the hunt does end in a second. We've got a basic, and a cheap shot. Let's just go for it. Slash +1 to attack and kill. That's a beast patient. Special. His special is not the ability, luckily. Death rattle. If beast patient is killed, unless it was staggered, hunter suffers 2 damage and poison. We are going to dodge that so fast, your socks are going to fall off. So we'll dodge that, which will make it 4 damage that we're dealing, because we're clearing that slot as well. And then we are able to deal that 3 damage to him. So he is gone. Well, 4 damage as it would be. And we get another blood echo. If it weren't for that dodge, that would have killed us, actually. Would it have killed us? Yes, I think it would have. It's not worth considering too much. And for my final action, I will interact with that hunter, which means that I have to discard my antidote and a blood echo. And hopefully they aren't going to get up and start battering us because we have just run out of cards. Where are we? Oh no, it's not, it's this one. Reveal card 9. I don't think this is finished yet. And I think I've let myself in for a bit of a nasty surprise. Oh, it is, it's done, it's done. Distribute the empty phantasm shell reward among the hunters. Thank you, but you cannot allow the sickness to spread. Find Jura and the others, burn it all. It's the only way. She forces out a black ichor. She forces out as a black ichor escapes her mouth. She leans back, convulsing slightly before falling silent and motionless. I've used my antidote and then she's died anyway. That's a bit of an anticlimax. Empty Phantasm Shell is a superb item, and I'm very grateful that I've got that though. So, thank you, lady who has just died. You will be remembered. Yeah, it just increases your attack value. It's superb. And now we have at least 2 insight. 1 for every hunter +1, reveal card 5. Old Yharnam Overrun. Distribute the 1 consumable and the Ludwig's Holy Rifle firearm amongst the hunters. How could the districts have fallen so far without us knowing? The powder kegs sent here must have been massacred, and the hamlet is overrun by beasts. But worse still, the infected do not bear the usual signs of the sickness. Is this some new kind of plague? Sad times. Now, interestingly, we didn't get through all those insight missions. We did not even see all of them. This one opened up wildly. In fact, so wildly that we've still got 4 tiles that we did not use. We managed to complete this one as a single hunter, mind you, with just 4 tiles. Having 4 hunters, I think this would be an absolute nightmare. I quite enjoyed that. I didn't feel like it was too difficult as a single hunter. I feel like the Fall of Yharnam was a little easy as a single hunter, may have been pitched perfectly for 2 hunters trying to get 3 insight missions. That said, it may just be that longevity of experience and knowing what the best tactics are. Comparing this to some of my previous playthroughs, I did watch one the other day just to listen to my own voice, and I'll tell you what, I cringed at a couple of the actions I chose to do. Some of those things where you're watching and you realise that you are inevitably going to die, and I'm still struggling or smiling as I'm getting this big hatched plan together, and then something slaps me down and says, no, you are not a hunter, you are a baby, shut up. Yeah, the experience, I think, is part of what has made this a little bit easier. I'm excited for Chapter 2. Following this will be a review of the core box. It will include no content of the expansions or Kickstarter exclusives, so it will be entirely the retail version. So hopefully that will apply to quite a few people, and it will be purely my thoughts based on my experiences. Thank you ever so much for sticking around. I hope you've enjoyed this. I have really enjoyed doing these playthroughs and hope to continue doing so. But until then, I will catch you next time.